playing Choices, Veil Secrets. Guys, we're about to finish this story. I've been playing this story for like a year or so. But we're about to finish it. I'm feeling motivated. And so I usually film it like late at night. It's only 5 in the afternoon. So I'm actually well rested. I have a lot of energy. So we're just going to crank through this. But yeah, about probably 4 more chapters if I had to guess. Story's heating up. No more wasting time with intros. Let's get to this. All right, chapter 14. So before we left off, we were being held gunpoint by Margaret Sterling. We found out that there's an affair going on. Now, I originally thought the affair was with Nikolai and Margaret, but based on the letter, it was an affair between Pierce, Margaret's husband, and some other lady named Alanis, which is, maybe there's 2 going on, something like that, I don't know. Chapter 14, The Face of Evil. Sorry, I want to make sure I have this right. You're admitting to breaking into the Sterling. Man, if this dude don't get out of here, is he going to prosecute us on everything? That was our only choice if we wanted that evidence. That's now several crimes you've admitted to. I told you at the beginning, Agent Kim, you're getting a complete honesty. That means I tell you what I did wrong. If you want to press charges, you can go right ahead. You think a jury would be on your side? I mean, yeah, bro. Bro, you can pardon my crimes, my guy. Like, I assume we busted like a whole crime, like a drug operation. You're referring to the evidence you discovered in Margaret's room, which showed that the Sterlings were drug smugglers and that Nikolai was their middleman. Not to mention that Pierce had an affair and got his lover pregnant. Have I got it all? Not even close. I think they can push aside, breaking and entering a couple times. 3 times. 3 times. Lighthouse, Margaret's house, and then Kate's apartment. They can forgive us a couple times if we bust a whole drug operation, You and Flynn stand in Margaret Sterling's bedroom, a pile of evidence of her family corruption laid out in front of you, and Margaret herself is in the doorway with a shotgun leveled at your head. Of course, it's me because I'm, we're not gonna get into that. Margaret. I don't know why I said it like that. Getting real sick of folks pointing guns at me. Don't worry, dear. This will be the last time. Damn, that's cold. Please, Miss Sterling, don't do something you'll regret. Like what? Shooting the intruders that I caught robbing my house during my son's memorial? There's not a jury in the world that will convict me. Facts. But you're talking about murder. Can you live with that on your conscience? You were given every chance to leave, every opportunity to walk away. Her hands tremble a little. She grips the shotgun harder, clenching her jaw. And now, you know too much. I'm sorry, but I can't let you 2 ruin everything I've worked so hard for. You scramble to think of the right thing to say to talk her down. You must have really hated him after the affair with Alanis. And every day since, I'm nothing if not consistent. Is that why you kept your little folder to take him down? Of course not. I'd have nothing without Pierce. This life, this family, this house, I'd lose all of it. That folder was to keep him in line, prevent him from making a grave error. Her lips curls in disgust as her eyes flit to the letter from Pierce's lover. He did like he did with Alanis. It must have hurt to learn that she was pregnant. You can't even imagine. All this talk of legacy, all of his grand aspirations, and still he couldn't keep himself from knocking up his little tart. You should have heard how Pierce went on about his Alanis Acosta, like a love-struck teenager. He said that he was going to leave me, going to raise a new child, going to tell her everything. About your business, the smugglings, the drugs? Precisely. He was so sure she'd understand, as if any woman besides me could ever understand. You knew then. You knew what he really was. For one moment, Margaret's resolve seems to falter. You have to understand, he wasn't always that way. When I married him, he was still an honest man. Ambitious, ruthless, but honest. But everything fell apart in the 80s. Pierce had some bad investments. The port wasn't getting many shipments. We all hit hard times occasionally. Most of us don't turn to Pablo Escobar. It was never like that. He wasn't some criminal mastermind. The guy was running a massive drug smuggling operation using code ciphers to track it. Sounds pretty mastermind to me. Fine. So he did a good job of managing it. That doesn't mean it was his idea. He just reached out to some contacts in New York and they convinced him to open up his ships, his harbor, to their trade. So you're saying his contacts were the Russian mob. What a great guy Pierce must have been. They even sent an enforcer of theirs down to supervise. Nikolai. Sweet, simple Nikolai. I didn't think much could surprise me, but his kindness. I never expected that. Yeah, well, Nikolai isn't another thing your little scheme put an end to. He took a bullet to the chest. He's in a coma, and he might never wake up. What? Margaret staggers back, looking genuinely rattled. Who loved who? Who loved who? Oh yeah, I got that right. The way you might love a mangy old dog, perhaps. He was a brute of a man with the mind of a child. A woman like me would break him in a heartbeat. Oh, I guess I got it wrong. He had more passions in one stubbly finger than Pierce does in his whole body. So you're saying you had an affair of your own? No, of course not. Nothing physical ever happened between us. When I learned about Alanis, I thought about sleeping with him, of course, just to hurt Pierce. When Pierce told me about her baby, about his plans, I couldn't let him leave. Couldn't let him talk. And Nikolai, well, he'd do anything for me. The truth hits you suddenly, like a fist tightening around your heart. Wait a minute. Hold up, let me see if I can guess this. Affair between Pierce and Alanis. Hard times, start doing drug operations. Nikolai comes in to supervise, falls in love with... Margaret probably put her up to the kidnapping, something like that. Put her up to the kidnapping, put her up to everything. Because he was like... She could convince him to do anything, right? So she probably convinced him to kidnap and all that kind of stuff. There was that one secretary of Pierce's that was named Alanis. The house fire that killed her was wicked suspicious. Oh, I didn't remember that. When we found out I lived in Birchport, he started asking about Nikolai if he's still blowing things up and burning things down. Oh, so he did the house fire, okay. Alanis died in a house fire, one that everyone suspected was intentional. Jesus Christ, you told Nikolai to set fire to a woman's house? You burned a pregnant woman alive? Damn, she is ruthless. All I did was whisper a few words into Nikolai's ear. The burning was all his doing. And Pierce just accepted that. He murdered the love of his life, an unborn child. He had no choice. I knew his secret. He knew mine. We were trapped together forever. Damn. That's... Bro, house of cards, my guy. And Nikolai, the guilt consumed him, destroyed him. Collateral damage is always such a pity, but don't worry. This time, I'm going to take care of things myself. Margaret's finger tightens on the trigger. You close your eyes, Flint crouches down, instantly going to his head. Then suddenly Naomi appears behind Margaret and smashes a vase over her head. Damn. Thank God, bro. She's wife material. Margaret stumbles backward, the shotgun flying out of her hands and landing several feet away from her with a thud. And stay down. Naomi, your timing is incredible. Are you two okay? We are now. Margaret starts crawling toward the gun, but Flynn kicks it away. He holds Margaret in place as Naomi secures her wrist with a zip tie. Let me go. You're on my property. And you just threatened these two at gunpoint. Plus, you know, the whole confessing to a murder thing. I demand to speak to my lawyer at once. You'll never hear it at the end of this. Actually, I think we've heard about enough. Flynn stuffs a wad of tissue into her mouth. Margaret struggles to speak, but you and Flynn ignore her, turning to Naomi. Thanks again, Naomi. But how do you know we come here? I just kept thinking about what Nikolai said at the lighthouse. I felt like a piece was missing, and it felt like the piece had something to do with the Sterlings. Wait, you were planning to break in too? I guess we'll never know. I'll make a criminal out of you yet, Silverhawk. Not if I make you an honest man out of you first. Two of you bring Naomi up to speed on everything Margaret revealed. God, it's even worse than I thought. This whole town has been tainted by the Sterling's crimes. What Margaret and the Pierce did in the 80s, it's all coming back to haunt them. Yeah, well, it's their kids who are paying for it. Three of you stand in silence a moment. It's tragic in a way. And it would be even more tragic if Kate took a fall for Tanner's murder. We won't let that happen. So, what should we do with her? Flynn gestures toward Margaret, glowering at you from the floor. I don't trust Duffy. He was involved in everything the Sterlings did. He's as guilty as they are. That piece of... But that doesn't leave us many options. Naomi kneels down and picks up a folder filled with incriminating evidence. Margaret's file proves everything. I'll take it to the state investigator's office. They've never much cared for the way Walsh runs this town. I'm sure they'll understand why I took this over Walsh's head. Please tell me this means Walsh is finally going down, because I have been waiting this to happen my whole life. With what we have in this folder, hell yes he's going down. Damn. What happened next? Alright, I guess we're back to the present. Naomi called in the state investigator's office as soon as they saw the evidence. They assigned one of their top agents to the case. He authorized Naomi to put Margaret Sterling in custody. And Pierce? He disappeared once he heard Margaret was arrested. But we figured the investigators would find him once they arrived. Sounds like everything was all wrapped up. It seemed that way. Judge Winters granted Kate's bail request, Nikolai was in custody, and the Sterlings and Walsh were exposed. Which meant it was time for me to go home. The next day, you lounge around your room at the B&B waiting to hear from Naomi. You begin browsing flights back to New York. God, am I really going back? I don't know why, but it's kind of hard to imagine. There's a knock at your door. Blade, here's your final bill. Though I must say, I've grown so fond of you, I hate to say goodbye. Oh, Miss Harlanay, I feel the same way. I wish I could stay. The Kate will be released today. Margaret Sterling's in custody. Boy, when the skeletons come flying out of the closet, they sure scatter bones everywhere, don't they? That's a colorful way to put it. Don't let me keep you. It's your last night in Birchport, isn't it? Yeah, it is. If you don't mind me prying, how are you going to spend it? Or should I say, who are you going to spend it with? Well, it's none of your business. Did I do something with this? I did. Man, Naomi is too fine, bro. Alright, thanks, Harley. I gotta get to my date. Going for a ride? No, actually. I just came from one. No wonder you look so happy. I love her house, bro. Goals. Well, there's that. And now showing up just now. I wanted to ask how things are going with the case. The state investigators got Walsh and Margaret in custody, and Walsh is not happy about it. I kind of wish I could see his face. Imagine Tomato having a meltdown, and you've got it. But enough about that. I want to focus on you. Oh? You smile, and Kate takes a step towards you. You take a step toward Naomi. Of course I'm gonna kiss her, bro. Meaning to kiss her, she wraps her arm around your waist, pulling you closer. It's a long kiss, slow and tender. Finally, you pull away, leaning your forehead against Naomi's. Is that focus enough? That's perfect. Let's go in. I'll make us some tea. Man, oh my god. Goals. Naomi takes your hand and leads you inside. How about some music? Sounds lovely. Naomi disappears into another room for a moment, and then a woman's voice floods the house, a husky melodic song. You hear the characteristic pop and hiss of needle on the record. You're playing a vinyl? Yep. I'm kind of old school about music. My grandpa's record was one of the only things I took when I left Wyoming. Would you care to dance? I'd love to. Take her hand in yours, settling your other hand on her waist. The two of you sway together, slowly, gently, heart beating together as one. I think this is nice. Yeah, it is. Blade, Tea kettle whistles and Naomi steps away. She returns with 2 teacups, handing you one. You inhale a husk something smell. So what's next for you, Naomi? You're going to try to get back on the force? I'm not sure. All I know is I'm not ready to leave Birchport yet. Yeah, I mean, this is a nice house. You do have a pretty sweet ranch out here. I know. I'm definitely not ready to go back to Wyoming. Too much history there? It's not that. More a feeling that I'm not supposed to be there right now. You sip the tea, a delicate green tea that calls the mind of summer in Long Island. Freshly mown grass in the sun. Well, what are you gonna do? You have a plan? Not really. Right now it's more of a feeling. It sounds intriguing. It is. So, what's next for you, Blade? Family time, I don't know. I actually miss my parents. It's crazy, right? Not really. It sounds like you guys are pretty close. Tell me about them. My mom always wanted me to be an artist. We used to go to the local art museum when I was young and take silly photos with the paintings. There was one of me hanging in our living room, actually. I'm standing in front of a painting of a massive ice cream cone, pretending to lick it. Do you have any photos with your family? No, not really. It's a long story. Squeeze your hand. I'd rather talk about happy things. You finish your tea, and Naomi puts on another record. This one's slow and sturdy. She sits down next to you on the couch, turning to you with, taking both your hands in hers. She gazes at you, her eyes alight with desire. I was thinking, before you go, maybe we should, Let's wait. This is I don't want to, there's no point because I'm going to edit out anyways. It's not that I don't want to. It's okay, Blade. I like you a lot. I just don't want to get involved when I know I will have to leave. I get it. I'm kind of an expert at pushing people away to avoid getting hurt. Why don't we just listen to music? My grandfather's collection is amazing. I mean, she's making me feel bad, but like, there's no point in me doing that, and I just because I can't put that on YouTube. You wake up and the next morning tangle in Naomi's arms. She opens her eyes, gazing at you, bittersweet look on her face. Blade, I'm gonna miss you a lot. Tears well up in your eyes. This is harder than you thought it would be. I don't. Naomi gently places her finger on your lips. It's alright, Blade. Wait a minute, hold up. So you're telling me I'm still explaining all this to the FBI agent? How is this relevant? I was about to explain all the nasty details of like if I slept with her to the FBI agent. Nah, bruh. This is a little bit too much detail. Technically, like thinking about it, I would just skip through this if I was like testifying. You kiss Naomi softly, tenderly. Why don't I make us some more tea? You freshen up. By the time you're done, the tea is ready. You sip it quietly, both comfortable in silence. Eventually, you get up to go. Goodbye, Naomi. Blade, I think I'm... She inhales deeply and looks down. Take care out there. Be safe. Naomi embraces you warmly. You stay in her arms for as long as you can. Then you turn to leave. You head to Birchport Police Station. The minute you walk in, you see her standing in the middle of the room with this huge smile on her face. Blade! Kate! You take a step toward her, but before you can get close enough for a hug, you notice a stern-looking older man in a suit. He clears his throat. Tino Thompson, state investigator. One hell of a mess you got yourselves in here. He tilts his head to the jail cells in the corner. Margaret Sterling sits in one, and a broken-looking Chief Walsh in the other. Blade, you need to help me. You're a journalist, right? You gotta get my story out there. You gotta clear my name. Tino ignores him. I had my suspicions about Walsh for some time, but I had no idea how deep his corruption ran. Even the Sterlings, they got a lot to answer for. Sir, please, this is all a mistake. Oh, for God's sake, Walsh, give it up. They have the file. They know everything. Tino's handling the investigation now, Blade. The county, the state, they're all going to be looking into what happened here. I'm going to have a lot of questions for you later, Blade, but for now, I'll give you two a moment. Mind grabbing me a coffee, deputy? Across the station, quiet Duffy nods and turns to the coffee maker, fumbling the settings. Of course, sir. Pathetic. The only officer this town has left is the one who can barely tie his own shoes. Tino walks over to help him. As soon as he does, Kate runs over to envelop you in a hug. Careful, don't break me. Can't make any promises, Blade. After all, you saved my life. I had a lot of help. From your brother especially, he was never going to stop until you were free. And Naomi, that woman is fearless. Oh, and Grant, the guy's like a one-man Justice League. Don't think you're dodging the credit that easy. I know it wouldn't have happened without you. You can't help but smile at Kate's enthusiasm. So much has changed, but I feel like I'm ready to start a new life. Should we celebrate with a drink? I saw a brunch place on Main that has bottomless mimosas. Actually, about that, there's something I should tell you. She hesitates, clearly nervous. I got a call this morning from the hospital. They got back the blood work just after you found me, and... Blade, I'm pregnant. What? My word. Dang. Whose is it? At the other end of the room, there's an explosive clatter as Duffy drops a coffee cup. Damn it, deputy! You got coffee all over me. You ignore them and focus on Kate. What's Duffy up to, bro? So, you didn't know. I had no idea. The last time Tanner and I were together that way was the day before the wedding. Must have happened then. My child, my grandchild. Kate reaches out and touches her stomach. They still need a lot of tests to make sure it's healthy and everything, but I'm definitely pregnant. It'll be okay. No, it won't. I'm pregnant with my dead fiance's child, Blade. In what realm is that okay? It's hard to get that. Still, I'll get through it. I made it this far. I can't get through anything. I can get through anything, right? Just then your phone buzzes in a text from Grant. Urgent, call now. Do you mind if I... Of course. You call Grant. When he picks up, he sounds frantic. Blade, thank God I caught you. Grant, this is the time. Kate's... I was thinking about what you told me. About how Margaret and Nikolai killed Alanis because she was pregnant with Pierce's child. It kept eating at me. I read about the Costa fire when it happened, and there was no mention of her being pregnant. So maybe they wanted to protect her privacy. Not this time. I dug up some records from a local hospital. A week before the Costa fire, a Jane Doe gave birth to, at Tuskov General, 3 towns over, to a healthy baby boy. The description matches Alanis precisely. Grant, I'm still not following why this is important. Alanis and Costa had a son, Blade. Pierce's son. A child none of the Sterlings knew existed. But wouldn't the baby have died in the fire? Think about it. If the baby had died in the fire, they would have found his body, right? Good point, but what are you saying? I kept turning it over in my head. What if Nikolai killed Alanis but couldn't bring himself to kill a child? What if he took the baby and lied about it? So I did some more digging. The morning after the Costa fire, the baby boy was dropped off at Birchport Hospital. He was put into foster system. It sounds like he had a really rough go at it. Multiple reports of abuse and severe bullying. Yeah. The parents that finally adopted the child, the ones that gave him a new name. No way. Hand trembling, you lower the phone and look across the room. Whoa! Yo! You see that? He did that double tap. God damn, bro. Tino crumples to the ground at bullet holes in his chest. Margaret screams as Kate dives to the floor and scrambles away. Duffy, what the hell is going on? Have you lost your goddamn mind? Oh, Tommy, Tommy, Tommy. Tables really turned, haven't they? You stumble aside, huddling down next to Kate as Duffy paces toward Walsh's cell. All those years fetching you coffee, soaking up your insults, playing part of your loyal little lapdog. I sucked it up, pretending to be the idiot you thought I was, because I knew one day I'd be sitting here ready to take my revenge. Jeff, please, don't do this. Duffy raised the gun, aiming it directly at Walsh's head. With all due respect, Chief, I'd like to file my notice of resignation. No way, he just iced him like that. God damn, bro. Walsh's body crumples to the floor. Duffy stares at it. Huh. That's fast. This dude is insane. What the hell? He turns back to you and Kate. Now then. You scramble forward, pressing your body protectively over Kate's. I won't let you hurt her. I don't want to hurt her, but she left me no choice. Jeff, how? You're the one who... I had to do it, Kate. I had to save you before you became one of them, before the Sterlings corrupted you with their evil. But I see now, I was too late. It's already in you. So you have to die. They all have to die. This dude is insane. Whoa. What the hell did your family ever do to you? Duffy spins to face her, eyes burning with hate. You still don't get it. Look at me, Margaret. Look at my face. Look at my eyes. Tell me you don't understand. Oh my god, you're Pierce's son. Got it in one. I hit the parental jackpot, right? My father was the richest man in town. I should have had a life of luxury, privilege, power. I should have been Tanner. Damn. You could never be Tanner. No, I couldn't. I grew up as an orphan, a nobody, abused and neglected in one home after another. I was always the littlest and the weakest, the outcast in every group, bullied, beaten, and worse. But I learned how to survive, how to play dumb, how to fly under the radar, how to suck up the bigger boys and live in their shadow. And every day I died a little inside. Yo, he's like the freaking Riddler from the Batman, bro. And whenever I saw you Sterlings in their beautiful mansion, in their fancy cars, I always thought, why couldn't that be me? I wanted it. I deserved it. Why wasn't it mine? Then a month ago, when I was loading Nikolai into a drunk tank, he started blubbering. He told me what he did to my mother, my real mother, and how he saved her little baby boy, how he saved me. But he never told me. At first I couldn't believe it either, but it made sense. I wasn't destined to be this loser. I was cheated out of my birthright. By you, Margaret. When you killed my mother. Damn. He raises his gun and fires into Margaret's stomach. She falls backwards against the cell, stunned. God damn, this man's ruthless. Sorry, Margaret, the evil stepmother always dies. Even as the life leaves her eyes, Margaret looks at Kate with something close to love. Take care of the baby, my grandchild. Margaret. Duffy breathes in deeply, then strides over, grabbing Kate by the hair. How'd I let him get her like that? I'm sorry, Kate. I wanted to save you, to take you away before becoming Sterling, before you could become contaminated. But now that you're pregnant, it's too late. The Sterling line needs to end. All of it. Man's insane. Duffy drags Kate up off the ground, holding a gun to her head. Now you, Blade. Do what I say or she dies. She's gonna die anywhere, according to you. If you hurt her, get in that cell, now. He gestures towards an empty cell past Tino's body. Trembling, you follow his commands. Once you're in the cell, Duffy walks over, slams the bars behind you, still dragging Kate by the hair. The door clicks, locking you in. Throw out your phone. Please, no. Do what you're told. Watching Duffy heel smash the phone, ruining glass beyond repair. Kate, you gotta listen to me. We saved you once, we'll save you again. Be brave, hang on, we'll come for you. This is insane. I remember this was a big twist at the end of it. He jerks Kate by the hair and pulls her out the door, leaving you alone in the cell, surrounded by bodies. Her screams still echoing in your ears. Holy shit, bruh. Insane. Man is insane, bro. Now you see why this is that one of those ones, bro. Cut above the rest. Sheesh. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for this video. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. a couple more episodes, I think one or two, and then we're pretty much done. So hope you enjoyed. Catch you in the next one. Take care.